So we are in the worksheet named Sheet 3. We'll be considering the same range D5 to D18 as we had considered in our previous session. We also have the VBA editor open, wherein we are currently in module 2. We have written a new macro subroutine named useful underscore range underscore properties underscore methods. So we'll be demonstrating the use of this property Range.cells and the methods Range.offset and Range.Resize. We'll also be trying multiple variations of using this property and methods by also using the read-only properties such as range.rows.count, range.columns.count, range.worksheet.name, and range.address. Now we shall declare a range variable, let's say RR1, dim RR1 as range. To this range variable RR1, we shall assign the range D5 to D18 of the worksheet name Sheet 3. Note that this Sheet 3 is the name of the worksheet, and it also appears in the VBA editor within the parenthesis. So, and further, we shall be applying the properties Range.cells and the methods Range.offset and Range.Resize onto this variable RR1, and the output will also be a range. To assign that output, we need another range variable. So let's dim RR2 as range. So currently we have two variables, that is RR1 and RR2 of the type range. So both these lines, both these ways of assigning a range to a variable works. However, the moment you change this particular sheet name that is getting displayed in the Excel window, our first method of assigning the range to the variable, it fails. So I would in fact recommend to go ahead with this second method, and this would be the revised method of assigning a range to a range variable. So let me comment out the first three lines of code. So now we are in the final phase of this session. We plan to cover the properties range.row, range.column, the range.address, and the range.worksheet.name. We'll cover these read-only properties and demonstrate the use of them in conjunction with the message box. Message box is nothing but a pop-up that will display the information. So depending on the text string, the way you have entered the text string while writing the code for message box, the information will be displayed within the message box. So let us write the codes corresponding to each of these read-only properties in the context of this range RR1. So let's consider a use case in which we want the row number and the column number of the very first cell of the range RR1 to be displayed in the message box. We'll also display the address of the range location assigned to the variable RR1 and also the worksheet name that contains the range RR1. So let us proceed ahead with the message box code. Message box. So the text string argument that will enter in the message box shall be either a combination of a multiple text string or the concatenation of text string and variables. So with regard to our first use case where we want to find the row number of this first cell of the range RR1, let us enter the text string as the row number of the first cell of range RR1 is, as you can see, there is not enough space to contain the entire code, so we'll spill over to the next line. For this, let us enter a space followed by an underscore character and enter. Now the next line will be in continuation to this line. They are part of the same code. So let us enter the ampersand character, which is used for concatenation of multiple text strings and variables. After the is, we also want a space character. So for that, we'll use the character code 32. So this character code 32, so this you can Google it out also, because every expression has a character code assigned to it, and you can use those character code whenever you are writing your code. So another ampersand character after this, and now we'll use the read-only property with range.row. So rr1.cells 1,1.row. This will give us the row number of the very first cell of the range variable RR1. We also need a full stop character at the end, so we'll concatenate a string full stop. So this is the first message box that will display the row number of the first cell of the range RR1. In our next message box, we want to display the column number of the first cell of the range RR1. So let us change the text. Let us remove the row and insert column over here. And in this particular portion, we shall enter rr1.cells 1,1.column. Now we shall have the message box where we want to display the range address. So let me copy this part of the code. Let me change the text string so that the text string becomes the address of range RR1 is, and over here, over this particular portion, I will change the read-only property to rr1.address. Let's move on to the next message box where we want to display the worksheet name. So let me copy and paste, and over here I will modify the text string to have the worksheet containing the range RR1. And in the particular position where I am accessing the read-only property, I will modify it as rr1 dot worksheet dot name. So note that this particular property The not name property of a worksheet object will give us this particular sheet name, which is displayed over here. So we are expecting sheet underscore 3 to be displayed. The same sheet name also appears in the project explorer view just besides the sheet code name. Within the parenthesis, the same sheet underscore 3 appears. Just one last message box I would like to add, in which I want to display the sheet code name of the worksheet that contains the range RR1. So let me copy and paste the code, and let me modify the text string to the sheet code name of the worksheet containing the range RR1 is. So this is the modified text. The sheet code name of the range of the worksheet containing the range RR1 is. And over here we'll just change the dot name property to dot code name, which will give us access to the sheet code name of the particular worksheet object. So with this, my message box are ready, my code is ready, and now I will run them one by one. Let me just insert a toggle breakpoint so that we can directly get started from this location. So let's run our macro. Right now I'm in this position. Let me execute this particular line. Now my first message box displaying the row number of the first cell of the range RR1 is going to be displayed. So let us execute this line. So here it is. The row number of the first cell of the range RR1 is 5. Note that there is a space in between 5 and is. Now that is because we have inserted a character 32 for the space. Now let us execute our next message box for the column number. Column number is 4 and this is correct. Now we are expecting the address of the range RR1 to be displayed. This is D5 to D18, which is in line with our expectation. Now we are expecting the worksheet name to be displayed. Sheet underscore 3, this is also correct. And finally, we are expecting the worksheet code name to be displayed. And this is sheet 3. So our message box in conjunction with the read-only properties .row, .column, .address and .worksheet.name has worked as expected. So with this, we are at the end of this particular session. Let us do a quick recap of what we have learned in this session. We have learned how to manipulate ranges using the property Range.cells and the method Range.offset and the method Range.Resize. We have also come to know that the output of using either of this property and method is a range output, which implies that we can use this property and methods on top of each other in succession using the dot operator. We have also learned about the read-only properties such as range.rows.count, range.columns.count, range.row, range.column, range.worksheet.name, range.worksheet.codename, and range.address. Now these particular read-only properties provide informational attributes about the range, and they have served as inputs to the property Range.cells and the method Range.offset and Range.Resize. And using these read-only properties, we have been able to harness the full power of manipulating ranges. We will, as we advance into advanced topics, where we'll be automating a sequence of operations by writing our code, these particular properties and methods will become very, very useful. We will be dealing with multiple range objects, we'll be filtering them, we'll be sorting them, Probably we'll be creating charts also. So we'll be doing a multiple activities using these read-only properties along with these properties and methods to manipulate ranges. We also came to know about the message box. So with this understanding of what we have covered in this particular session, we look forward to learn about dynamic ranges in our next session. Till that time, keep on learning, keep on revising the concepts, keep on writing the code.